cuties, if no one has told you already today, they want you to know that you are intimidating. For those of you that are new, welcome, I'm Jem, and in today's pick card reading, we're going to be discussing what about you is intimidating. So in pick card readings, you can view them how you like. You can watch the whole video or watch whatever pile catches your eye, as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. You can decide your own future. You have your own free will. Also know that every reader reads differently. I tend to read pretty candidly and honest, so there may be some deep messages. And before we hop right into the video, I want to let you guys know the different ways you can help out my channel. The biggest way is by subscribing. I also sell personal readings. Every single deck you see on my channel is listed there for $10. It's on my Depop. It's linked in the description. It's $10 for 30 minutes of any deck you like, unlisted, for your eyes only. I also have an Instagram where I post tarot reels, and if you're feeling generous, I have an Amazon wish list of decks that I desire. Know that any donations are extremely appreciated but not expected, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. So, we have 3 piles here, but before we hop into each pile, I want to cleanse the reading using my little vessel, just so we get an accurate, clear reading for us today. No negative energy or any of lingering vibes come into this reading. So I'm gonna play a little tune to clear our minds. Let's play. I'm laughing because my boyfriend's in the other room and he's probably like, what the hell is going on in there? Okay. So that is the vessel. Thank you for the short little tune. Let's now hop into each reading. So the first pile we got was the Shepherd. So this is the card for you, pile 1, as well as this thumbnail. Hold on, let me open up the images for the thumbnails. So this is your image. This is your card, pile 1. So it's a shepherd. It says family and family. For some reason, I'm thinking of like the shepherd. I'm pretty sure represents like the dog. Like you think of like a suburban family with like a shepherd, the dog that herds the cows or the sheep. But it's supposed to represent a person in this card, and it represents more of like the herder, the somebody who maybe herds the family, maybe very family oriented. Also, it says celebration, so maybe you are somebody who celebrates a lot with your family. Oh, by the way, happy Halloween. Today I'm filming on Halloween. We also have like willow, like little, what are those called? The little like wish blow plants. Oh God, what are they called? I just wanted to say willow. That's weird. They're like the weeds that you blow and they like spread the seeds. So that could be something significant. This is also representing earth signs, so this could be someone who's very stable. Besides that, we have your thumbnail as well, and your thumbnail represents a girl. She's got like really thick lips. She also looks like pretty mischievous. She looks like she's about to like fuck someone, fuck someone's life up. She's got bangs, she's got longer nails. She looks like she's wearing like some sort of scaled shirt. It's reminding me of like snake skin. This could be representing you, or this could be representing maybe a person who's intimidated by you. Yeah, so that's your thumbnail. Now pile 2. For pile 2, we got the Warrior. It says, this is what the card looks like. It's got a bunch of swords, so it could definitely be like air sign, and we do have air sign here, so definitely maybe talking about conflict, communication. Also, the warrior, it says perfectionism and burning out. So this could be someone who maybe, this could be representing you. Maybe you tend to burn out or fall into perfectionism. This could just be the summary of your reading also. And your thumbnail to pile 2 is of a girl. She's got like, I didn't even notice, but she has like almost like sword like earrings. She's got like a bunch of zombies or like skulls behind her. She looks like she might be wearing like some sort of like I don't know why I got like a cross. I think because on the thumbnail the initials and charms, the cross is like right on her chest. She looks like also kind of like vampire-esque. She's got really pretty eyes. They're like kind of deep set. She got bangs. She's got like smoky eye like makeup. There's like blood on her. She's got like blood all over. And she looks like she's wearing like a vest or some sort of like suit and then like a choker. I don't know. It's an interesting shirt she's wearing. I'm not really sure what that is. So if that resonates with you, pile 2, please pick pile 2. Now on to pile 3. Pile 3, you got 3 cards actually. They all came out. Oh wait, just kidding. 4 cards. This could be like, this is supposed to, when I shuffle these cards, supposed to represent the summary of your reading. So it says the Hound, Loyal, Chains, Promise, the Enchanter, Deception, Trickery. It says the Merchant, Self-Word, and Trade. And then the Chiromancer, which is delivering news and collaboration in reverse. So those could be representing something about that people are intimidated about you. Could also be maybe like who you are as a person, representing that. Like you could be someone who is very loyal, tends to make a lot of promises, and this is giving fire sign. I just thought of like hounding people, I'm not really sure. And then the Enchanter, maybe there's some sort of deception or trickery. Like maybe you could see through people's like bullshit and you hound them for it. You may know your self-worth. There could be something about that. Like this is earth sign. There could be something about making trades or having like a lot of abundance. And then like and making trades with people. And then also it says delivering news. Maybe you're somebody who tends to give people a lot of news. I'm not sure. So if that resonates with you, pile 3, please pick pile 3. And your thumbnail is of a girl she looks like she's kind of part of the Atom family or like Beetlejuice. She's got like short, jet black, like sharp hair. She looks like she's also got a lot of makeup on. Like she looks like she looks like she could be part of like the Addams family. And she's got like smaller lips. She's got bangs. They're kind of like the bangs that like are pointy at the in the center. I don't know if you ever seen what that is. And then she's got like also a cross. So that could be something significant. Anyways, let's hop into pile 1. Hello, my beautiful pile 1s. If you chose this card as well as this thumbnail, this will be your reading on why do people find you intimidating, or why are people intimidated by you? So we have your card. It's going to be up in, let's put it in the center. I'm just feeling center vibes. And then we're going to have your bell off into the corner to indicate if there's any synchronicities. So we have pre-shuffled oracles here. I didn't use any tarots in these readings for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. So let's talk about what are people intimidated by with your personality. So we have the Seeker and we have the Scorpion. So you could have like maybe you could be a Scorpio, or maybe you could have some sort of fire sign that's significant in your rising or your top 3, like the sun, moon, ascendant. So that could be something. I'm gonna hop into this cards in a second, but I'm gonna lay out the rest of your cards first. We also got what else? Like, why else are people intimidated by you? We got illness, and then we got origin. And underneath that, we got coffee, which is meeting and conversating, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. We have broken, I feel shattered about the situation. Underneath that, we have they'll be back. And we have House of Pleasure, 5th house. Maybe you have a fire sign in your 5th house. I hate when I use these black cards because then it always tends to like fade the other cards. Let me see if I could bring down the brightness. Okay. That might be better. Let me do it again. It's still a little bit too bright. All right. There we go. So I'm gonna shuffle another card for you. I don't know why I'm off by one card. So give me a card underneath explaining what 5th of house, House of Pleasure, is representing. Give me a card that represents why people are intimidated by pile 1, 2, 3. We have chemistry. Okay. So pile 1. With the Seeker card here, we have thirst for wisdom and truth whenever there are. So I think something about you is you could be definitely like the seeker of truth. Like you like to get to the bottom of things. For some reason, Scorpio, like I feel like a lot of the time Scorpios are all about seeking the truth. So the fact that this is here, this makes me think that you are somebody who really is somebody who looks for the truth of things. Like you're like, tell me the truth. Like you want to know the truth about how people are feeling or what's going on in the situation. You could be definitely a truth seeker. This could also represent somebody who maybe is very thirsty for wisdom, somebody who chases and seeks a lot of wisdom outside of them. They could be someone who's always looking to learn, always looking to grow, and build their skill set. You could be someone who maybe is constantly seeking knowledge. With the Scorpion, I need to look up what this card is. I tend to forget what this card is. This card represents it says passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. So you could be someone, pile 1, who's very passionate, very competitive, tends to be very isolated. You could be someone who maybe is a little bit more of a loner, someone who maybe isolates, maybe doesn't have that many friends, kind of just like tends to be on their own a lot. And maybe that's something that people find very intimidating about you, is that you could be very intelligent. You could also tend to be like a truth seeker, so you tend to get like wanting the truth out of people. So people could be intimidated by that. You could also be very competitive, very passionate, and those could be things that people are intimidated by. And it says, since it's in balance, it's upright. It says wild and free and fierce. You could be very free. You could be very free-minded. And you could be someone who maybe is very wild. You're like genuinely yourself. You could be someone who's not afraid to be themselves, and that could be very intimidating by others, is because others may be controlled by their like insecurities. You could be also very intense. You could be someone who maybe is like very action oriented and tends to take a lot of action compared to others, and people might be like intimidated by that because you're like a go-getter and you get what you want, and like people could be like intimidated by that because they hold themselves back due to doubt and insecurity. So the next row here, why else are people intimidated by you? Pile 1, we have illness and origin. I'm not really sure what that's about. For some reason, I immediately thought of like, maybe you have some sort of origin story where you were sick, like maybe when you were young, there maybe was some sort of sickness that impacted your life dramatically, and maybe you didn't let that hold you back, and that's like, maybe that was like during the time period where you had like a tower moment where life just changed for you. You started to like look more optimistically in life, or started to take more action in life, and stopped letting things that are out of your control hold you back. There could have been something about this like period of time that maybe you faced that had to do with like an illness that was like your origin story. It was like, that's what shaped you to be the person you are today, and you're not letting it be your personality or like playing the victim. It's more of like your stepping into a place of, you're not letting it conquer you, you're just letting it be a point of your life, and you let it grow you to be like a better person today and shape you into like somebody who's maybe just more happy in life. I'm not really sure. So with the coffee cup here too, I think another thing that people are intimidated by you, pile 1, is you could be someone who maybe savors moments. You could be someone who's very nostalgic. Maybe you tend to like reminisce on memories. I don't know why, but like maybe you tend to talk a lot about old memories. It says friendships and feeling uplifted. Maybe with the part where I said, like, maybe you have very strong friendships. Like you may have, you could have a lot. I mean, I said that you probably don't have a lot because this one says isolation. Maybe you tend to struggle with isolation a little bit, but you do have like very strong friendships. I think though this could be meaning that maybe you're not friends with like everybody. You don't just let anybody in your circle, and because you're very strong-minded and like, you know, you see, I feel like you could see through people's like bullshit. There could be something particular about that, and like there could be somebody who's maybe very intimidated by you because they want to be friends with you, but maybe it was because you would close off from them or like put up walls or like didn't let them in your circle. And there could be something about that people are intimidated by, that you're like, you have such strong friendships with others. You could also be someone who's very uplifting. Maybe you uplift your friends a lot, or you're very optimistic, like I said, which is funny that I said that. And then you could be someone who maybe, it says meeting and conversating. Maybe you like to talk a lot, or like just meet up with people and have conversations. Like maybe you go for coffee with your friends and just chat about certain things. I'm not quite sure about the meeting and conversating, but maybe that's something in particular that you do that maybe somebody is like intimidated by. Like maybe you have like meetings, like actual meetings, and maybe you're very good at talking. And that could be something that people are intimidated by. So here, there could be something in particular about a certain person that maybe you've cut off, or you've let out of your life, that wants to be in your life. And this could be someone in particular that is intimidated by you, pile one. The reason why I say that is because these 4 cards around each other all is giving me like, especially chemistry is giving me like a love situation. Maybe this is an ex. This could be someone who maybe is an old friend. But because we have chemistry, this is making me think of a lover or ex-lover. It says they could be broken about the situation. It says, I feel shattered about the situation. They'll be back. This person could literally be back and like trying to message you or trying to get back into your life. They say, I've never felt a passion this intense. Maybe this person, this person could be very passionate about you, or just feels like they can feel very tied to you, or just feel like there's a strong connection. But the reason why it could also just be like a trauma bond, because a lot of the time they talk about how when you have feelings this intense and like where you're having like this anxiety or like the butterflies, it's more of like anxiety due to it being a trigger of some sort of trauma. So that could be something in particular. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. We also have 5th house, house of pleasure. This is like, just because of the cards it's surrounding, this is making me think of like love related, but this card in general is supposed to be just about you and like your passions, or your hobbies, or like things that you enjoy doing, things that you're passionate about, like in your career, or just like things like that. So, but the fact that it's surrounded by all these love cards, this could definitely be that maybe something in particular is like, there could be someone, maybe an ex, who's intimidated by you because they feel broken about the situation. They want to come back, but maybe they feel like just not ready to, or just not yet. And it could be because they feel like very intense about you. There could also be something about like the intimacy in particular that they're maybe very intimidated about. I'm not really sure. So that is what I have for you, pile one. I wanted to pull some charms for you. Oh, this just fell on my lap. There's a tree, and I just saw Cancer. There's a lot of F's I'm seeing. There's also VIU. I don't know why I thought of ICU. Maybe this person's like watching you from like a distance. I don't know. We have 8. We have 5. So 8 talks about like abundance. 5 talks about change. SRUJM or W. We have a tree, which makes me think of growth, like changing. And you could definitely be a star to this person, Pi 1. We have a V here. This makes me just think of like love or vendetta. So that is what I have for you, Pile 1. Let me know how I did in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Pile 2s. If you chose the Warrior, which represents perfectionism and burning out, this will be, and this thumbnail, this will be your reading on what do people find intimidating about you. So, Pile 2, these are all the cards that we have. We have pre-shuffled oracles. We have Goddess in reverse. We have Raccoon. So this is representing your personality. What about your personality are people intimidated by? We have a bunch of these cards here to represent another reason why people are intimidated by you. And then underneath that we have Guardian. And then we have unexpected outcomes. We have gift. We have reservation. We have seduction. I'm just gonna put this one like here. Okay. So, my beautiful pile twos. Let's start off with your personality card. The raccoon talks about like, it basically talks about someone who's, I'll read it to you actually. It's basically somebody who's a starving artist. Like, I think it's not like actually starving artist, but it's like somebody who is, it says talented, shadowy, and hiding. It's like somebody who's a talented person, but they're kind of like hiding their talents. They're not really showing it off. They're a very good artist. They could be someone who's like an actual artist. It doesn't have to be like actually somebody who just does art. It could be like a musician, different types of art. It says generous friend, exceptional artist. It says when the raccoon energy is at play, within all artists to be greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tendency, skillful with a particular instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to unresolved issue with around self-image and success, sometimes using a stage mask or using a mask in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Who am I? What do the audience think I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is unresolved. So this card basically talks about somebody who's like very talented, but in the shadows, like someone who maybe wears a mask but I don't think you're at that place. Maybe you were in the past, but it's kind of like resolved. So this could be something in particular is maybe people are very intimidated by your talent and you're not afraid to show off that talent and show your face and show who you are. A lot of the time they talk about like within this card is like an artist who hides behind a mask and because they're afraid of like, you know, showing off who they are and the art that they provide. But this is like saying that this person, because it's upright, has already expanded past that and like it is somebody who's not afraid to show who they are and the art and talent that they do. I hope that makes sense. So it's not somebody who hides away, fearing of what people will think of them. They show off like their maybe unique differences from others. So that could be something in particular why people are intimidated by you is you're not afraid to show who you are and your talents and maybe even get like thinking like fame or publicity or like maybe you get like a lot of likes or there could be someone who who sees how talented you are and you're like not afraid to show it. With the goddess here, you could literally be a goddess. I think also it says exploitation of the female nature and form. You could be someone who maybe, there could be something in particular maybe about your talent. Could be something about exploiting like female nature or form. Like maybe people could be like a bit judgmental about it, like maybe you show off your body or maybe there's something in particular that you show off the female form and maybe that's something that people are intimidated by, but also like it's almost like maybe a little bit taboo because a lot of people would assume you would hide your face or like hide behind something, but you're not afraid to show that. And maybe that's something that people are really intimidated by is like you embrace your body, you embrace who you are as a female and you're a goddess. So it's definitely something that people are intimidated by. I think other things that people are intimidated by, we have balance, growth, and communication. You could be someone who's good at communicating or someone who grew a lot and became a better communicator. Maybe you're someone who's very good at like setting boundaries or just communicating the things you need, the things you want, and you've dealt with a lot of growth with that. you could also have really strong like guardian angels like protecting you, watching over you. Specifically, maybe a lost loved one who watches over you. You could have like a guardian who's very in your power, very present, very powerful, who's constantly protecting you. And that could be something in particular is like people could be intimidated by that because maybe they feel that presence. And they like just know not to like mess with you. You could also just be like a guardian yourself, like maybe you're very powerful within yourself and you tend to guard like others. I just thought of like very strong. We also have balance here, so maybe you may struggle with balance, finding balance within things, something in particular. I'm not quite sure, but that could be a little message. I think overall though here, what people are intimidated by you is that you could be very wise. You could be like stepping into your higher power too. Like this is growth. Maybe you're very mentally mature or emotionally mature. You could be someone who doesn't let things bother you. For example, like you don't let people's emotions control you or be controlled by other emotions or things that are out of your control. You could be very good with that. Also, you maybe faced a lot of growth, like growth of character. Maybe you've learned a lot, maybe you've grown a lot, and you're just very high in your own power. So there could be something to do. We also have like, it almost looks like the Wheel of Fortune, and then we have like another wheel here of like things moving. Maybe things are moving in like your path, things are moving in the background. I don't know why, like things are turning, things that are maybe manifestations or just like things are turning in the background, like things are moving, things are going, and you may not be aware of them. But that could be something else that people are intimidated by is like you focus on other things and you go like you may find yourself burning out or falling into perfectionism in some sort of like maybe your career, and people might see that you do that, but they're like intimidated by the fact that they know that things are going to work out for you and that like it's almost like the wheel is turning in your favor. You may also not let yourself get burnt out. You could be like finding a way. Maybe you tend to get burnt out in like the past, but maybe you're finding a way to resolve that issue and resolve these issues to not let them hold you back. It's like maybe constant change, or it's like constantly changing to do better when it comes to like figuring solutions. And that could be something that people are intimidated by is like people see your potential and they see what's coming for you before you even see it. They see the greatness that is coming for you before you even see it. With the last 4 cards here, there could be someone in particular that was not expecting things to go out the way that they did. Maybe within your relationship, like maybe it could be more on like the positive note, like maybe relationship wise, like maybe someone was shocked that things worked out or that you were interested. I'm not sure what that's about, but there could be someone in particular that's intimidated by that. This could also just be representing unexpected outcomes, like this is you shocked that like these things work out in your favor and you didn't plan them to go that way. It's like you just manifested them, and people are extremely intimidated by that is because it's like things tend to always work out for you, or you could just be literally very powerful and you just manifest things into your life. It's like you have reservations for gifts in the future, and people are like, they didn't even expect this to come to them, but it did. And they didn't even plan for it, but they're like, it's almost like she's like faked, like she's like fake shocked. Like she's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But she was manifesting that shit in the background. She was like, so that could be something in particular. People could be just, I almost just wanted to say jealous, but also like intimidated that it's like you have reservations for beautiful gifts in the future. And like, you know your worth. And I think it's because you're also not only like chasing these gifts, but it's like you're doing everything possible to like receive whatever gifts you want in the future. It's like you are manifesting it, you're working towards it, and you're putting yourself in that position to get what it is you want. So it's like you're not shocked that this happens, but other people are like, you may be like pretending that you're shocked. You're like, I can't believe this happened. And everyone's like intimidated that it's like, wow, like this person didn't see this coming. Like, and they're getting all these things. Like, what? You may be very abundant. Lastly, you may be someone who knows their worth, someone who actually loves themselves. A lot of people say, oh, just love yourself, just love yourself. You have to like seriously, majority of people have to like actually go to therapy to truly find a way to love themselves, because you have to do the shadow work to really, you know, see yourself from all aspects. To truly love yourself, you have to see the bad side, you have to face the things you don't like about yourself. And something in particular is maybe you've already done that and you actually truly have self-love, self-worth, self-confidence. And you could also be very seductive, and that's why people are intimidated by you, is because you know your worth. You have love for yourself. You don't let people walk all over you. You say no. You don't allow disrespect, but you're also kind, genuine, but you don't let people cross your boundaries. And you know when to, you know what you want. You know what you want. You could also be someone who's very seductive, very flirty, very tempting. And maybe people are like very intimidated by that because maybe they're afraid that you're gonna like steal their man, or you're just very attractive, so people are like insecure about you, men and women. So that could be something in particular, pile 2. Let's see what your charms are. So we have a butterfly. Also, I'm wearing 2 butterfly rings. We have a butterfly here, and then we have another butterfly right here. So transformation, maybe you transformed a lot into like, maybe you've changed a lot and people have noticed, and that's what they're intimidated by, is because you're not the same. And people maybe don't know how to approach you. We have JK, and we have 2 Ks. Ks could be significant, maybe someone's name. We have 2 Ms, could be also significant. We have V. We have HD. I just thought like seeing you in HD. We have LI. We have Virgo, which says, what does it say? On the back of it, it says practical. You could be someone who's very practical. We also have a little like knots tying the rope. I just thought of like, the story about how like, or the idea of like your destiny is like the knots already tied in your rope. Like you have like invisible ties to your destiny already, and where your these wonderful outcomes to blossom for you. And it's like, this is just to signify that. We have a little bike here. I just thought of like maybe you bike riding. Oh, oh my God. I just thought of the story of like, okay, so Jim Carrey did this speech where he talked about how he literally manifested something in his life. And he talked about how like he's more of like a religious, where he talked about asking it from God. Like he prayed to God and was like, oh, I just want a bike. I just want a bike to, go here and to school. And it's not like he's asking for much, he's just asking for like a bike. And he would ask for it all the time. He never told anybody that he wanted one. He just like would pray for one. And then out of the blue, his parents like bought him a bike for Christmas, and he was like, it was such a shock to him, because it was like, it's crazy that he didn't ask. I think it was because his family was like poor and they couldn't afford things, so he just wouldn't ask for them. But they ended up buying him this bike that he wanted, that he never expressed that he wanted, but he like prayed for it. And he was like, it's real. Like, you could seriously manifest your things, the things that you want in your life. And for him, it was a bike. You should watch, if you're interested, you should watch that video. It's really interesting. But yeah, that could be something in particular. Is like, you literally manifest gifts. That could be something. All right, so that is all I have for you, Pile 2. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing. Let me know how I did in the comments, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Pile 3s. If you chose these cards, these 4 cards, this will be your reading on what about you are people intimidated by. So we got a couple oracles, as well as this thumbnail. We have a couple oracles. So these 2 cards are supposed to represent your personality. We have Servant and we have Panther. The first message that I got from this section was recovering people pleaser. So that could be something in particular. We also have other messages here. So let's pull, why else are people intimidated by you? We have homelessness. We have sunglasses. We have confused. We have divorce. Let's put this over here. Your cards are going to be like kind of out of whack. They're kind of like all over the place. Hold on, let me try to organize them. It's because you have 4 cards up here, so it's like a lot. But we have these cards as well. I just realized you have all the elements here. Pile 3. You have water. Oh wait, no. Wait a minute. This is fire. This is air, earth, and then water. You have all the elements here. That could be just significant that you're a message that it's like you have everything in your power to do what it is that you want. You may literally have all the signs in your chart, like earth, fire, water. It's like you're balanced with those things. Okay, let's hop into your reading. So what I'm getting here is recovering people pleaser. Maybe in the past you were someone who maybe would serve a lot of people, was like the servant serving. You would do things out of the love of your heart and you cared, and maybe you would give too much to others and put your needs aside, which left you very angry, or like you would hold a lot of anger towards people who maybe didn't reciprocate that energy, but you can't expect people to. And maybe that was something that you were learning, you were growing, and you've grown from, where you're a recovering people pleaser. And maybe something in particular is like from cutting people off. Maybe you still suffer a bit with cutting people off because the Panther is still in reverse. So maybe you tend to like cut people off still, due to struggling with could be like self-isolation. The servant here, upright though, I think you maybe have learned something that you've grown from is serving people with like a free and loving heart. Like you still put your needs and what you need first, but you still have a delight in helping others and doing it freely and with a loving heart, like not expecting anything from it, just doing it out of the kindness of your heart. It could be something to do with like donating, or maybe even towards the homeless. Like maybe you're someone who's very kind and like tends to donate to foundations, or like to the homeless. Maybe you give things to the homeless, donate to the homeless. That could be something. Also, other things that maybe people are intimidated about how kind you are, how sweet and loving you are. Maybe something in particular is like the fact that you donate and like the fact that you give to the homeless. Like maybe others are intimidated by that because maybe you start to like people around you, when you do stuff like that, they feel like they have to, or they feel more inclined to do the same, so they're like intimidated. Something in particular is you could also be someone who's very loyal, someone who makes a lot of promises towards others. You could be definitely someone who tends to care for others a lot. And like you could be a Taurus or have this like Taurus energy where you're a leader, very honest, very stable. Maybe you tend to feel like you are responsible for others a lot when in reality you're not, and maybe that's something that you're recovering from. We have nature, and Chiron. I have to look what that one is. And then we have fertility in reverse. Maybe something in particular too is let me hop into here. It says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focus out. And then we have deception and trickery. There could be something still that might be a little bit blinding that you may not be aware of, that might have to do with trickery or being deceptive. Maybe you tend to be a little bit deceiving with others. I'm not sure in particular, but that could be something that people are intimidated by, or maybe even like afraid of. I just thought of like people might be afraid of you. I think also you could be someone who maybe is not interested in having kids. Like fertility, it's in reverse. Like maybe someone who's just not interested, maybe just not right now. Maybe you're focusing more on yourself, focusing more on trading, working, self-worth, like focusing in on themselves right now. You could also be someone who maybe does a lot of collaboration, or delivers a lot of news to others. I just thought of like palm reader because it's got like the things on the hand, but I think more specifically could just be, you could be someone who maybe tends to I wanted to say also, like, you could see, because with the deception and trickery here, maybe you tend to be someone who doesn't have these rose-colored glasses on. You could see things for what they are. Maybe you struggled in the past with cognitive distortion, where it was like you see things more of like a darker lens, more pessimistically, rather than seeing things for what they are. But I think also this could be, you could be really good at seeing through people's bullshit. You could be someone who like doesn't allow people to bullshit you. You see through it, and you're like, and that could be like the type of thing where it's like, you cut people off, and like that could be something. There could be also like someone in particular that maybe you cut off from your life and divorced from. Could be a lover, like ex-lover, but it could also be maybe just a friend that you've experienced like a separation from, and maybe you didn't communicate why you were upset or why you didn't want to move forward in things, you kind of just like cut them out and they just don't even understand. They could be very confused on why things changed or why things ended. And you just cut them out, and they're those could be someone who's maybe intimidated by you, but this could also just be this person's just confused. Like you didn't really give them a reason or express how you were feeling, or talk about like the things that you wanted to work on that could be better in order to like improve the relationship. You kind of just like left or ran from it. So that could be something in particular. People could be very, that could be something that people are very intimidated by, that they could be like afraid that you're just gonna do that and like not communicate what you're upset by and kind of just like cut them off out of your life. Also, people could see you as someone who's maybe a leader, very honest, very stable. Maybe you spend a lot of time in nature. The Chiron, let me see what the Chiron represents. So that card represents, it says wounded healer, suffering, obstacles, past life pains, origin, difficulty, lessons, trauma, hurt, sabotaging self, empathetic understanding, learning through adversity, and it's in reverse. So I think you could be someone who maybe you had a wounded inner child, and due to like, you know, your upbringing, and that maybe caused a lot of the reasons to these past things that you've healed from. You could be someone who's healing. It was like you were wounded, but now you're healing others and working on yourself and collaborating with others, delivering, maybe even like a therapist. Maybe you became a therapist. It says past life pains. Maybe you suffered a lot in your past life. It says difficulties, lessons. Maybe you've learned a lot of lessons. Maybe you've had a lot of hurt. Maybe you used to self-sabotage, but now you're somebody who's very empathetic, very understanding. You understand yourself, you love yourself, or you're starting to love yourself. And once you start to have more love for yourself and really understand who you are and facing these shadow elements of yourself, you start to be able to be more accepting and understanding of others. So that could be something like maybe you freed your heart. You know, you stopped locking yourself away and you started to embrace love and loving others, or putting more love out into the universe rather than hate and negativity and pessimism. That could be something in particular. And maybe people are intimidated by you because maybe they still see you as the past version, or like maybe some like old people from your past could be still intimidated by you because of these reasons, and maybe that's what's coming out. But maybe you started to change and you started to be more kind and loving, and you grew into a better person. And maybe people are even intimidated by that because you've changed, so they don't really know like who you are or how to act with you because of this new person you are. I think a lot of people are very proud of you and proud of your change and proud of how well you're doing as well, because you've went through a lot. And people are like, wow, like this person was able to come and shine through all of that. So that is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. I know we didn't talk much about what people are intimidated by, but I think a lot of this has to do with, more specifically, is like, these are the things that they're intimidated by. I just didn't say it as often. But people are intimidated by all these different aspects of who you are or what you've done. So that is what I have for you, pile 3. Let's take some charms. I just saw the number 3. A lot of charms wanted to come out for you. Look, we got 3 again. We have, these could be initials of people who are maybe intimidated. We have SVPF. We have a butterfly. We have the number 4, which is stability. We have Aquarius. We have deck of cards. I just thought of playing your cards right. We have a violin here. We have balloons. I just thought of like birthday party. And we have a not a butterfly. There could definitely, we do have a butterfly actually. We have also a reindeer, and we have a little flower, and we have a protection spell here. We have a little protection hand. Maybe you were very kind, very loving, maybe a little bit so much in the past that your ego took over and you stepped into this villain era in the past as a way to protect yourself and cut people out and cut people off due to wanting to be respected, wanting to be taken care of, wanting to be loved the way you wanted. But then I think maybe you've learned that you can't expect people to give too much, especially as much as you give, because how much you give, you shouldn't give more. You shouldn't give past your needs. You need to put your needs first. And you can't expect others people to do that. So I think what you've learned is to put yourself first, but still have a giving, loving personality that you've always had. But not expect people to do that for you. And you don't, when you do those things, you don't put it before your own. So that's what I have. Thank you so much, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing, let me know how I did in the comments, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye!